Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, no matter how long you've had it. We want you to know that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. Here at Invisible Condition, we get it. Okay, it's life can be tricky. Life can be hard with an invisible condition. I mean, the condition that I was born with at one point required multiple brain surgeries, and so it got a little dicey around here for a while. So I get it. I get it. If you're going through it, I've been there. We also like to live in a land of hope, and so that's where we choose to be. And so if it's been a minute for you, if it's been hopeless, join me. It's much better here, much better in the land of hope. I'm going to put an email address on the screen here in a minute. If you're really having trouble, shoot me an email. I'd love to help. So I want to talk about the nonprofit side of our show. It's called Hydro with Hope. Just for a second, if you know somebody that has lived with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is the condition I was born with, let me know. I would love to get some of our resources into their hands, and I'd love to talk to them, and help them in any way I can. Here's an email here, for anybody that might know somebody that might need help. And also, if you want to donate to our nonprofit, hydrowithhope.com is a place to do that. HYDRO, hydrowithhope.com. Thank you in advance. And also, we are growing our board because we have come to a point now that we need more help to accomplish what we need to accomplish. So if you know somebody that would be an amazing addition to our board, I would love to talk to you about that too. And one last thing is, you're going to notice, I mean, this is TV, right? So what is pretty synonymous with TV, which is advertising. If you or somebody has a business that would like to advertise to our audience, I would love to talk to you about that. We have had a growing audience ever since we've aired our first episode 2.5 years ago. And we've grown and grown and grown. And so I would love to talk to you about that, about our audience and whether it's a good fit. And let's talk about it. So, all right, that is enough of that. Let's bring on our co-hosts today. It's been a minute. Here we go, Michal. Thank you for being here again. This is awesome. I'm so glad that we're back again. Like, you were gone for a little bit, and Bryce was here, and Chris was here, and Stephen, and so it's good to have you back. And so glad to see you again. Tell people a little bit about yourself again, and for those who haven't been watching, or maybe they're new, and then maybe tell us what we're going to be talking about today.
Yep. So glad to be back. Thank you. For those who are new, I'm Michal LeBaron, and I have a background in functional medicine and holistic nutrition and dozens of other certifications for like health, wellness, life coaching, poverty work, like all of that stuff. And none of those things got me fully healthy. And so I went through a crazy health journey, like many others, where we're just seeking answers and the doctors don't know and the specialists don't know. And you try all the protocols of things that they tell you will work. And, oh, it's heavy metals, so you just have to detox them, or it's parasites, you just have to get rid of them, or it's food allergies, you just have to get rid of that, or it's mineral deficiencies or imbalances, you just have to fix that. And so I went on chasing all the things. And yes, I noticed a difference. Like it really got me from bedridden to seemingly normal. But the amount of stuff that I had to do to maintain my health and function was insane, right? Like with the restricted diet, gluten-free, dairy-free, corn-free, soy-free, sugar-free, GMO-free, the purified water and air, and the, timing of my meals every 3 to 4 hours to regulate my blood sugar. I mean, it was just like, there was so much, tons of supplements, like all the things. Always going back to the chiropractor. And so I just reached my breaking point with that and logically started really questioning the paradigm that I was in. So I knew I was against conventional medicine, just doing a band-aid approach. Oh, let's just give you a medication. And I knew I wanted to seek the root cause, which is why I was like gearing towards functional medicine. Well, let's like test for more things and let's find those things that the doctors aren't looking at. And even if I can't be diagnosed with a disease, at least there's an imbalance that can explain some of my symptoms, and then we can start there, right? So that's why I was going that direction. But what I found that really rocked my world is that paradigm is no different. We're still band-aiding symptoms, just with more natural tools. And we might be calling something a root cause, like food allergies or leaky gut or adrenal fatigue, but nobody's asking, but why? But why that? Like, why wasn't the body able to heal itself if it can regenerate rapidly and we produce billions of new cells every second and we replace our entire immune system in 30 days? Like, so then why am I having all of these autoimmune, like, food allergies, like all these things? Why? And so that's what really led me to the work that I do now and love, which is all centered around our regulatory system. So nervous system, other regulatory systems in the body, that when the body is allowed to be in a state of cellular regeneration and repair, of resting and digesting, of self-healing, we can heal. And our bodies are healing and they're producing stem cells. And, our redox systems are turned on and our endocannabinoid systems are regulating properly everything. And so when my body is able to be in that state, yes, I heal. But if I stay in a survival state, in a dysregulated state, I don't heal. And so that was actually the kind of a deeper root cause that I wanted to address. And within just a few months of focusing on these regulatory systems in my body, I could eat any food, including the foods I had anaphylactic reactions to. I got off all my supplements and meds. Like, I had a normal life again. And it was really beautiful. And then I ran my labs and they were all normal, like no sign of my autoimmune disease, no sign of the genetic disorder. And so it's like, yes, we can heal even genetic stuff, even autoimmune stuff, even permanent stuff, even lifelong birth things from birth, and that's what we're seeing day in and day out with clients, is really teaching them how to get back the control over their own system and their own body so that they are fully healthy. And then we don't have to worry about all these external factors the way that we're being taught. We have to worry.
Yep.
So
nice. Love it.
Topic. Today's topic is how to be regulated during challenging times of life.
Okay. And challenging times of life could be like when you talk about dysregulation, that could be from any kind of shock. It could be good or bad, really. Right?
Yes, when our nervous system is dysregulated, and we're in a survival state, which like 92% of the population is, it's just normal, common, normal, for our society. So that comes from several different things. Number one, it's like how we are taught to cope with stress and change and, like just life. We are either taught healthy coping behaviors or we're taught unhealthy coping behaviors. Yeah. And a lot of our society is built upon unhealthy coping behaviors, right? We're not taught necessarily emotional intelligence or how to be securely attached in our relationships or like some of these skills. Like it is starting now to come out, like conscious parenting courses and love and logic and whatever, it's like, it is coming out, but it's not necessarily embedded in our society of like what we're taught. So we're still unlearning a lot of generational things.
Right. And and I know, I guess what I was getting at is just because it's trauma doesn't mean it's a bad event that happened. It could have been something that somebody died in your family that you didn't expect, but it also could have been, you just had twins. You just moved into your dream house. You just moved from one place to another that you've always wanted to live. Like anything that's outside the norm is going to dysregulate your nervous system. And you just got to figure out what to do with that.
Yeah. And it's like, I always like give the jar analogy. This is Chris's amazing tea, by the way, from the apothecary, the Healing Waters apothecary. But we are like a vessel, like a jar. And some of us have very little capacity. We're little baby jars. Some of us have very big jars. But every time there is a change in life, like you're talking about, it's like pouring liquid into the jar. So every time that the level increases or changes, our nervous system goes through a readjustment or re-regulation or recalibration, depending on your skill set. And so most of us are not taught how to process the liquid in the jar. So it just continues to accumulate. And at the point that we reach the top of the jar and it spills over the edge, that's a tipping point in our nervous system. It's called allostatic overload. And it basically means I cannot cope with this, right? I am now over capacity. And we immediately start running a survival program in our brain. Like there's a lesion on our brain somewhere when we reach those tipping points. And there's a survival program that runs in our body and makes real cellular changes. And within 3 to 6 months of that tipping point is when we develop our ongoing illnesses. So like you're saying, that event could be, I just got a promotion at my job. And so instead of being in this office space, I'm moving my offices to this office space. And so my routine's a little bit different and my view every day is different. And I have a different secretary or whatever, right? That simple change, even though it's very positive and you've worked for it for 20 years, right? It's like one of your dreams have come true. That could still be a tipping point.
Yep.
It could also be something like, for my autoimmune disease, I was in a musical and it ended. So or you join the basketball team, it's something so small that you would never consider stressful even necessarily, but because it is a change, it requires processing. And so what we're teaching is not just how do we regulate ourselves, like calm ourselves down. That's very different. It's how do we calibrate? And calibration is like, how do we make our jar really big so that the water level or the liquid level is very small, right? And it's no big deal. And I have a huge capacity to handle change, to handle stress without reaching a tipping point. So I think most people, when they teach nervous system regulation, what they're teaching is sometimes how to get rid of the liquid. Sometimes that's good. Most of the time, it's basically how do I just calm down and mask my triggers? It's not
how do you treat the symptom?
Right.
Almost.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't want you to regulate, meaning you're just going back inside your comfort zone so you don't trigger a fight or flight response. That's still keeping you in a survival paradigm. I'm wanting you to get out of survival completely so that you can actually handle stress, being outside of your comfort zone, learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, learning to expand and grow through life's challenges. That's a very different process. And that's actually the key to how do you handle life's difficulties that can't change right now? How do you stay in a difficult situation and grow through it, and calibrate through it, regulate through it?
And anybody out there that's watching, by the way, if you are watching and this is ringing a bell and you're like, oh my gosh, that is so me. I'm going through this and I don't know what to do. I think of entrepreneurs. Honestly, that's the population that I keep thinking of, because we are entrepreneurs, right? We're business owners. And so we don't have a job. We don't have the steady paycheck. We don't have the, whatever that some people enjoy at that comfort, And so as an entrepreneur, I feel like that nervous system regulation is so important, because I feel like because I have been through the program that you are talking about, I feel like if I hadn't, and we were in the same situation we are now, I would be a quivering mess on the floor. I really, seriously, I feel like I have grown to a point that to Chronic Illness Solutions credit, that I can handle so much more. And if you ask Catherine, she would probably agree most of the time. But it's amazing how you're, like you said, the jar gets bigger. I had a much smaller jar, 2 years ago even, so, and I've got a long way to go. It could be bigger, I'm growing it every day. But if you're watching this and you're on, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, or those are the two main ones that I'm talking about right now, because those are the two that you could comment right now and say, oh, what is this craziness you're talking about, and how do I get involved? Just drop a comment in there, and believe me, it's going to get better throughout the episode, because your mind's going to be blown here in a minute. But if you are watching it, either one of those, please throw a comment in there, and Michelle or somebody on the team at Chronic Illness Solution can get with you, or scan the QR code and get a time on their calendar. That's even better. So yeah. So anyway, all right. So
so yeah, it's if I think about it this way as well. If I have to keep using a tool or technique or modality, like, oh, I need to breathe this way because I'm feeling this way. Okay, you may have masked or calmed down the system for a minute, but all of the liquid is still in your jar, and that same liquid is going to cause you to feel that way again once you're triggered. So I also like the snow globe analogy. I use it all the time.
Yep.
Right? The things we normally consider stress, oh, it's my job, oh, it's this external thing, or oh, I'm feeling this way and it's normal because I'm in this tough situation. I mean, which is true. Like, yes, we do have feelings in tough situations, but those life situations are actually just what shakes the snow globe up. True calibration is looking at what's inside and changing what's inside so that I can withstand those shakeups.
Yep.
And come at them from a different perspective and have a different experience. And that's what you're describing is like, oh my gosh, me 2 years ago going through this life situation would have been very different. And I can say the same of myself 2 years ago, right? Going through what I'm walking through. And that's such a beauty, is now my perspective shifts from survival to like thriving, right? And looking at things in that from a higher vantage point. Is that, oh my gosh, look at all of the snow globe shakeups I have had this year, and look at the growth that has been a catalyst for, that has led me to be here.
Yeah.
And so every time my snow globe shakes now, I do look at it as a beautiful opportunity. Number one, oh, what snow is this going to ruffle up for me that now I have access to doing my inner work on and healing those things, right? And the snow is like our suppressed emotions. It's our traumas, it's our insecurities, our fears. It's all of that stuff that we then have the beautiful opportunity of working through. So that's a very different perspective of like, yes, let's bring that on, rather than like, oh no, now I'm in this situation. Like, our thought processes change when we start switching out of a survival paradigm. And also, how can I grow through this? What skill sets can I learn? Like my ability to sit in the unknown, to sit in uncertainty, and to actually sit with it, not want to run away, and be with my own experience and be with myself and honor my own experience of this is very challenging, and love myself through it and support myself through it. That's a very different perspective as well. And I'm learning how to do that like I would my own best friend, right? Like, you're doing great today. Like it's very hard. How can I take care of you? What do you need? Right? Like how can I support myself through this? And so start looking at opportunities as the gifts that they are. That opens up a whole different perspective for us to engage with the challenging things in our life. And when we change, our experience changes of those things. So that's what we'll talk about more after the commercial.
Totally. I love it. Yes. And I had something pop into my head, but it'll come to me during the break, I think. And then, cause you said something that I was like, ooh, yeah, let's explore that. So if I think of it during the break, we can talk about it after, but yeah, this is awesome. And please stick around. You haven't heard anything yet. This is great. This is good stuff. And you're going to want to be here for the rest of the episode, because I know this is new, and I know this is something that most people have not been taught. And so this is a new education for most people. So I want you to understand that we know that this is different. And so anyway, so all right, we're gonna go to a break here. So thank you, Michelle. We'll see you in just a second. All right, everybody. I gotta talk to you about my buddy Mike. He is amazing, and he is the owner of Roast to Order Coffee. So here's the thing. I'm just going to be totally upfront with you and tell you that I'm a coffee nerd, coffee snob, some would say. I hate that word, but it's true. I'm a coffee nerd, okay? And I have been for years. I love coffee, good coffee. If a bag of coffee doesn't have a roast date on it that's within the last couple of weeks, I really don't want to have anything to do with it. I want it fresh. And so, because it tastes better. And so that's why I love Mike at Roast to Order Coffee, because they get it. Okay. They are amazing and they roast their beans fresh. They ship them to your door and they're always coming up with, they listen to their customers, which is cool. So they come up with all these different things. When he first started, it was coffee beans, decaf, regular. That was it. Coffee beans, boom. He started to listen to his customers like, hey, we want flavored coffee. They've got flavored coffee now. Hey, we want those K-cup pods, because we have that kind of thing in our setup in our kitchen. Now you can get those. He's also working on something really cool that I can't tell you about yet, but we just talked yesterday and he's working on something that, again, listening to his customers and then putting it out there. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. And whether you like an Ethiopian light roast or espresso, decaf flavored coffee, he's got you covered. Okay. And by the way, Christmas is coming, man. We're just a few weeks away. So for the coffee lover in your life, whether they are, whatever it is, if they love coffee, Mike has e-gift cards now, and he has coffee subscriptions. Hint, hint, Jeff's family. Coffee subscription, please. I would love that. So use this QR code right here on the screen, and you will get 20% off your first order. So your excuses are gone. Go order some coffee. All right, here we go. Let's go to a short break, and then we'll be back with Michelle. See you soon.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hi, I'm Amy Joy, and I'm the host of Get Your Together Live with Amy Joy. And you can catch me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific on the amazing Trajectory channel right here on E360 TV.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the first segment. Hope it didn't, I kind of hope it made you think a little bit because that's what it's supposed to do. Because this is different stuff. So I didn't think of what I was going to say, so maybe it'll come to me later. But what were we talking about? Where are we picking it up here?
Yeah, I think, the overarching theme is like what I think people think that it's easy to regulate when the circumstances in our life are easy. And I think that the assumption then is that when situations in our life are challenging and not able to be changed, well then I just won't be regulated, or I won't be able to experience regulation until I'm in a different experience. And inside of a survival paradigm, that is true. when we are looking at regulation as the absence of challenging emotions or the absence of triggers or the ability to feel calm or whatever, right? To feel a certain way, then yeah, that is true. In a survival paradigm, it is what we are going through in life that we blame for our internal experience. What we don't realize is that we can expand and approach it in a new way where my experience does not have to be dictated by the external things that are going on in my life.
Right.
And the most challenging times of my life have been the catalyst of the most growth and change when I have interacted with those challenges from a different paradigm other than survival.
And
growth paradigm.
I think I just thought of what I was remembering is that don't blame yourself if you're in that survival mode, because the survival mode is there to protect you, right? Like the survival mode, God built that into you for a reason. I mean, you know, if everybody's, I don't know if anybody out there has seen the movie The Croods, right? But it's like, you know, when they're walking through that new world and he's like, wait, okay, take a step. No, wait. Okay, take a step. You know, like it's good. It's supposed to protect you. Your nervous system is there to protect you from danger and dying and being attacked by the saber-toothed tiger. But that doesn't serve you everywhere all the time. And that's what we're talking about here is the survival mode is protecting you from things that your body already knows is dangerous. So when something new comes, it kicks into that as a default, and it doesn't serve you to have that happen every time. So this is just a different way of responding to new things that are coming to your world, so to speak. So
very true.
Anyway.
Yeah. And it's like, I think I'm liking the word paradigm today because it's like, can my nervous system be in a survival state because I'm running away from a bear, but me view the entire experience not from a survival paradigm?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this overarching, like, how am I really perceiving what's going on? And is my perception in a survival paradigm, not just my nervous system? And I think we talked about this in one of the previous episodes where it's like, what, do you not experience the emotion anger anymore? And it's like, no, but you can be at peace with your anger.
Right.
And I think that was like a bombshell of one of the other episodes. But that's like what I'm talking about is like, can I view what's happening and even hold space from a more self-awareness that even if my nervous system is activated, I'm not lost in that experience. I maintain awareness of what's going on so I can help myself navigate through that experience. That's the key, is like being caught up in survival mode as your only view of life versus actually maintaining that awareness above what's going on so we can regulate and learn and grow. And I think that's the key. So, you know, one of the biggest tools for sitting in uncertainty and sitting in challenges that are long-term and not just going to go away, like being in an abusive relationship, is knowing how to really be with yourself and knowing how to sit with your emotions and feelings and feel them. So a lot of what I begin teaching as a baby beginner step with clients is, can you sit, become aware of your senses, right? Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, like pressure, like my clothes and the pressure of what I'm sitting on. Can I listen to sounds far away? Can I become as aware as I can of my senses and turn those on? Can I turn my attention inward to my feelings, my thoughts, not necessarily my thoughts as much, but feelings, physical sensations, that internal world. And so then we look at, okay, what's coming up for me? And all of a sudden people start feeling their feelings that they've been pushing down and bottling up all day. And can I sit with whatever that is, anxiety, terror, grief, anger, and can I actually observe, how does this feel in my body? Can I allow myself to experience that and observe that experience for what it is? Like, for example, So this is the experience of being really angry.
Yeah.
This is the experience of sitting and observing what anger feels like in my body. And so then just allowing that, and it's not going to consume us. I remember that was kind of this crazy unconscious fear of like, if I let myself feel it, then it'll consume me and I'll get lost in it and I'll never come out.
Spiral and exactly.
And I won't be able to handle it. And that's what I mean. The context around feeling emotions is either I cannot handle it, I'm going to get lost, I can't take this, right? It'll never go away. We're talking about changing that context, that paradigm for how we experience life. And when you can actually become aware enough to notice what that context is and what that inner dialogue is, that's where you can really begin to make the biggest changes, because you can think about it logically and you can try it out. And oh my gosh, what do you know? The emotion just came like a wave and then went away. And there was that piece on the other side of that wave of fear. So that skill set, I think, is one of the biggest ones I teach in how do you become comfortable in the uncomfortable. What were you going to say?
Well, because sometimes the first thing you try doesn't work, right? So you got to be comfortable with being able to explore multiple things. Maybe like, okay, maybe this anger, okay, how do I, or this uneasiness of a situation, or this sadness, or whatever emotion it is, maybe the approach you take doesn't work the first time, and you got to do a different approach, or you got to think about it different. And so that's the other thing, is being comfortable enough in yourself that you don't call yourself, you don't degrade yourself and bring yourself down because you were, oh, well, that didn't work, how stupid was that? No. You still be kind to yourself and say, okay, well, we just got to try something else, because sometimes it doesn't land on the first try,
Totally.
So because you're learning through all this. I mean, this is still new to me, and it's been, I still feel like a kid learning how to walk again, with some of this. So it's
totally.
So be nice to yourself.
Be nice to yourself. And that's also where we get to develop those skill sets, because we start seeing all the stuff that comes up for us when we start anything, right?
Totally.
And so the mind from survival goes, oh, I'm going to make a goal out of this, and I'm going to have expectations of what it's like to experience that, what I should be experiencing, how good I should be at it, when I should get it, how it should feel to get it, like what it means to get it. Like we make up all this stuff. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, then more turmoil comes up. And so it's like, if an unkind voice to yourself comes through when you didn't get it the first time, guess what? That's the overarching context that needs healing. That is the survival paradigm that's creating this experience.
So, see, we should have done it this way. I told you, this is how we've always done it. Why didn't we? Right? Yeah,
you're always the last one to get it, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. And so a second skill set, and in order to do what I'm talking about, it's really being present, conscious and aware in this now moment. Everything that's survival, or that's based in the mind or the ego or trauma or wounding or shadow or whatever words we're going to say to it, the flesh, the whatever, the autopilot system. It's always like analyzing the past and being stuck in the past, or projecting into the future, worrying about the future. It's not in this now moment. And so what we can do is make from the mind and survival is we make a goal out of feeling anger, right? But then it's like, oh, but I feel this block, I can't achieve that goal. No, actually, if you just stay present in this now moment, you'll realize that now there's frustration about feeling blocked, about feeling the anger. Can I be with that? What does that feel like in my body? And as soon as I start asking clients, well, can you be with that? Well, what does that feel like in your body? They're like, oh, like the mind lets go, because it's like, oh, I don't have to like resist and force this goal of this anger 2 minutes ago. It's like, I can be with my now experience. And what starts happening is you like kind of pop out of this fog and this cloud, where you can then start seeing what's happening inside. And then this cool thing happens is like, when I'm just present and I hold loving space for myself of safety, that I'm safe to experience this with myself right now. Then it's like, oh, wow, I'm basically just unfolding all of these emotions, all of this conditioning, all of these thoughts.
Yeah.
And I don't even really have to do much with it. I can really just allow the experience. And then all of a sudden I connect these dots randomly, or I have these realizations,
Yep.
or like something clicks and I'm like, oh my gosh, whoa. I was able to feel that and then just went away. But we are not going to accomplish that from forcing things inside a survival paradigm. We actually have to, the key is being willing to see the survival paradigm we're in. So if I have something very challenging in my life and it's causing great hardship for me, can I be with the hardship and can I be with everything that brings up for me and be willing to allow it, to feel through it, to face it, to sit with it? And it's like, but then what do you do with it? That's the number one question I get. But what do I do with this? Nothing. Because it will naturally flow, shift, and change. You will naturally know what you need to do. You'll be in tune with your intuition. You'll know how to make wise choices, but not when you're in a reactive state. So it's like getting out of the reactive state, even about survival mode, even about our symptoms, even about our triggers. Approaching it from a new way of being is actually the first key. And the first one that I basically teach most people is, can you be with it?
Because if you're with it, it's almost like have you seen those videos? There's like videos out there. There's millions of them, but the video that I saw one recently, and it was this big dog on one side of a sliding glass door. Then there was this little chihuahua on the other side. It was like, it was like the chihuahua was like, like barking at this big dog. And then the glass door opened and they were face to face and the glass door wasn't between them. And the chihuahua was like, and started to whine and like walk away. It's like, once you like call it out, the symptoms start to almost like, oh crap, we've been found out. So now we have to leave. It's like we can't hide here anymore.
Yeah.
They've called us out. So that's kind of, and that's where the healing starts to happen. But the healing is almost deceptive if you're not in the right mindset, because the healing is where the symptoms come in, and you get the rash, or you get the symptom, or you get the headache, or you get the fever or whatever, and you go, oh, I got to fix it. No. That's where you get to ride it out, because that's the end of the cycle. That's the healing that's happening. So there's so much stuff here that's so counterintuitive to what people have learned. And so,
yes, because it's like, even when we talk about healing, I'm like, what do you mean by that word? What is the overarching context or paradigm behind that word? Because for most people, it means escaping my experience.
Yes.
And it means fixing it. And there's already a fear it won't work. So now we're already in fear and sabotage patterns with it, meaning we're probably choosing things that will keep us sick, not choosing things that will keep us well, because that's how the unconscious mind works.
And getting rid of the feelings of it, like not not the root, but like that's why so many people are on so many medications, because it gets rid of the symptom that they're feeling, but it doesn't get rid of what's causing it.
Exactly. And then what you're pointing to, most people don't know that most of our symptoms actually show up when the body's trying to heal itself. Yes. And because we think that means something is now wrong and now broken, then we work to interrupt that process. Whereas if we can actually understand where the illness began and support the body in what it's trying to do, that's actually going to get us through the finish line of the healing, where we don't have recurring or ongoing symptoms. And even in functional medicine, the things I thought were healing, like, oh, I have high inflammation, I'm going to take an anti-inflammatory that's natural. Actually, I was working against my body. So even if I'm using something to support myself in life, I'm making sure that it's stuff that's working with my body, not stuff that's working against my body. And that is the part that's usually counterintuitive. And like, most practitioners aren't taught this stuff. So
that's the part that stops most people. And that's why the autoimmune condition continues. And that's why the whatever experience, whatever symptom you're experiencing, that's why it keeps going, because you keep interrupting it when it's wanting to heal and it's starting to heal. Then you're like, nope, we're gonna drink the tea, take the pill, do the therapy, and it totally interrupts it. So You know what? We're going to go to a break real quick. But when we come back, that reminds me of something with NLP and like EFT and all that kind of stuff too. So maybe I'll bring that up after the break. But
Happy to chat.
but yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But everybody stick around because this is good. I promise. This is good. This is yeah. All right, everybody stick around. We'll see you in just a minute.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hi, I'm Sarah Stockham, and I'm host of Simply Sarah. Join me Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific on the Achieve TV network for the best energetic tools to elevate your amazing life right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Time flies when you're having fun, I think. And oh man,
I know. I'm so sorry.
you know what? I'm gonna let. Oh wait, is that? There we go.
It got there.
Tell you what, this camera kind of gets in a mood every once in a while, and then all of a sudden I'm blurry. So we're working on that. Everybody, don't worry. New camera's coming. So
That's just like us in our life, right? We get a little blurry.
Right? Seriously, yeah, we could roll with that. So what I was thinking of before the break is, and maybe you can address this. Maybe people, I'm sure there's people out there watching that have experienced this. So somebody, I remember at a conference, we were at a conference one time, and somebody got really emotional explaining something, and the person that was doing the conference on stage was asking the person questions, and they got really emotional and they started to cry. And the person and somebody next to them, it was a whole bunch of people that never met each other before, but the person instinctively was like, oh, I gotta go give that person a hug so they feel better. And the guy was like, no, stop, don't you dare. Let them, let her, feel the emotion and let her ride that out. And so she can, because I'm trying to remember if it's NLP or whatever it is, but it's like if you interrupt that, then that interrupts the I don't know, maybe you can speak to it better.
Yes.
I can't find the words, but he stopped her. She's like, don't you dare hug her. Let her feel that. But our instinct is to go hug somebody, but that's interrupting the process.
Yes, it is.
Same thing. Yep.
Yeah, we work very differently in that we let people sit in the uncomfortable, and we even on group calls, right, or whatever. It's like, nope, keep your base neutral. Let them go through their process, because then we interrupt it. And the funny thing is, so the woman who wanted to go give the hug, she couldn't be with her emotions of witnessing someone else have emotions.
Because maybe she had gone through something like that herself, right?
Right. So whatever I can't be within myself, I can't be within another. And so then we want to soften or band-aid or interrupt or whatever, like, it's another person's experience, just so we don't have to be uncomfortable with their uncomfortable experience.
It's almost like what you do here, you do everywhere, right? So if it's uncomfortable for you, then it's going to be uncomfortable with anybody else that you see out in the world, and you're going to want to go rescue them, which is probably not the best way to go. And that can blow up into all kinds of crazy stuff. So
totally.
So yeah. So because I know, I wanted to say that out loud because I know there's people out there that have experienced that, and your heart is in the right place. You want to go help your friend, but to really help your friend, let them sit in it and get through it. So
yes, and sit with them in it, and sit with yourself in the discomfort of them being uncomfortable. That's actually where the expansion, that's actually where recalibration is. Yes. If I can actually sit with the trigger, sit with the discomfort, sit with whatever hardship is going on, guess what? My nervous system will recalibrate, and I will actually expand to hold capacity for that experience. So another word is like integration. Wherever I have disintegrated things that get triggered in me, those are my triggers and things that I do to cope with life. Well, when I integrate those, it's actually building capacity to experience those. And when we have capacity to experience those and be self-aware and regulated, that's the key. That's what we're talking about.
That's the nugget right there. We'll see you next time, everybody. That was there it is. Yeah, totally. Oh man. All right. Sorry. Keep going. You're good. You're on a roll.
Okay. Well, what we can't be with controls us. Whatever I can't say is ruling me, right? Whatever I can't be with is controlling me. Whatever I resist persists. Whatever's unconscious to me rules my life, and I just call it fate. Like, life is happening. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. But we can't see the cause and effect that we have in our own lives and how our patterns lead to our experiences. So this journey of calibrating means I am choosing to become aware of all of my own patterns and habits that are dysfunctional, all of my own patterns and habits that are causing my experience of life, and how that ripples and affects things in my life. I just talked with a gentleman yesterday about how he communicates. And when he is in fear, he communicates scarcity, that he's always in breakdown, and that he is a poor thing. Oh, you poor thing. And the responses that he gets back from like women, from other people in his life is like that, and that he needs mothering. And then they all give him this unsolicited advice. So we worked yesterday on like having him just stand in without fear in his own reality and experience, and how he would want to convey that if he wasn't doing the people pleasing thing and not wanting to be in trouble with people from his own trauma. And it was so amazing because, man, like the man showed up, and what he said was so great, and it just elicited such different responses the whole rest of the day from people in his life. So from the survival mindset, it's like, women are just that way, or I don't know why my parents are that way, or I don't know why this person does this with me. But when he got to take ownership, he realized that something he was communicating was eliciting that kind of a response. And with one simple conversation of a change, it flipped how those interactions went the entire rest of the day. So these are the kinds of things we have to be willing to dig into in order to get the freedom that we're wanting.
Well, and by the way, people pleasing is part of that fight, flight, freeze, fawn thing that is in that dysregulation, in that the survival mode. That people pleasing is part of that, which a lot of people overlook as just a personality trait, but that's something that's keeping you dysregulated.
Yep.
By doing that. So
very true. And so is anxiety, any emotional charge, any trigger we have, any lack of clarity, any our insecure attachment styles, like all of our symptoms. If we have an illness or an ongoing symptom thing, or any of those things I'm talking about, you're living in a dysregulated state. The answer is regulating. The answer is not solving all of those things and fixing them. The answer is regulating, and all of those will be solved.
Totally. Exactly. And it's so counterintuitive and so backwards sometimes to hear all this. I mean, this is so different than what everybody's taught. So
True.
this is why but this is why we're here. This is why we're here. This is why Michelle and I have been, I'm so glad I'm so happy that we found each other where we did in December of 2023. I don't believe in anything accidental. There is no such thing as accidental encounters. And we found each other speaking at the same conference. And then the rest is history. And we've been able to get all this truth and all this amazing information out to so many people. So it's so cool. I love it. And I can't wait to see what happens next time because it's all good. So, but we are almost out of time. We got a couple minutes left. Is there what would you like to leave them with just in those last couple of minutes?
Yep. Yes, it was a coincidence about connecting with you. I think it's just it's an invitation for a conversation and a connection. That no circumstance in your life means you cannot do what I'm discussing. And I've lived that. I've lived that in abusive relationships. I've lived that in life changes. I've lived that right through COVID. Like there are real things that are hardships. And the beauty is that you can still do this even then. And so it's an invitation for a conversation around what is going on with you. Where are your symptoms? Are they in your body? Are they in your marriage? Are they where are they? Are they in your relationship to food? Are they in your business with entrepreneurs that are burnt out and nothing they're doing and all of the drive, work, slay it, mentality, push. All of that mentality is not working. It's because you can't build something sustainable in a survival state. So we really have to shift the paradigm you're operating in to find what's aligned. So regardless of where the dysfunction is, we would love a conversation. You can scan the QR code and we'll just dive into what we think the problem is and uncover what that is and help you have a regulating experience and see what it is that you need. So
yes. And by the way, that call, when you schedule that call, it's not like when you go to the doctor and they give you 10 minutes and kick you out of the office. This is like 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, we usually do like 60 to 90 if needed.
60 to 90. Okay.
Yep. And spend a lot of time together, and that's free. It's a complimentary consult. And then we always work to provide next steps or information or like some value of like what you can take with you into your life.
Yep.
So, yep.
And it's, I'll tell you what, I started down this road a while ago, a year we met almost 2 years ago, and I went through it. And then my oldest daughter has been through the program, and now my wife is good. I mean, it's a whole family affair now. It's awesome. So I can't wait for everybody to go through and get and realize what all this is and how awesome it is. So thank you for what you're doing. It's so cool.
Thank you.
And join us next time, everybody. The next time that I will see you for another episode is let's see, this will be November 21st will be our next episode. In general, our next episode with Michelle will be on December 2nd. So look forward to seeing her again on December 2nd. And who knows what we'll talk about? I don't know. Hey, if you guys, by the way, if you ever have something that you want to hear, like if you've been watching for a while and you've been hearing, Chris and Bryce and Michelle, and, you've been listening for a while, like, let us know if there's something that we haven't covered that you want us to cover. Shoot a comment into like YouTube, Facebook, send me an email, all of that. And we'll dive in, man, because there's always something to talk about. So, all right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time.